Hey guys, how's it going? I got three Shockwaves here that I'm going to review just because I just recently got this Transformers Prime Beast Hunter Shockwave, so I thought it'd be a good time to honestly just go over the other two Voyager Shockwaves that I have as well. On the far left here we have Energon Shock Blast, but of course we all know that Shockwave. On the middle there we've got the Transformers Prime Beast Hunter Shockwave. And on the far right we have Transformers Dark of the Moon Shockwave. So, three Shockwaves, and I'm going to go over each one of them. I'll go ahead and move the two that are out of the package off to the side here. And then we'll just kind of pay attention here to the one that's still in this box, and of course that is the just very recently released Transformers Prime Beast Hunter Shockwave. And as you can see in the front of his package, you know, it's pretty standard stuff. He's there in his robot mode. You can see his accessories. Has his name here on the side. Got a picture of him. On the back, we've got a photo of him in both vehicle and robot mode. And here on the side, we just got a real short blurb about him, and we've got tech specs. And that's it. Anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap up the first part of this review. Go ahead and get him out of the box, and then we'll compare all of the Shockwaves. Okay, guys, here we have the three Shockwaves transformed into their alt mode. Starting off on the right here, we have Energon Shock Blast. I have no idea why they called him Shock Blast, but they did. In the center, we have Prime Beast Hunters Shockwave, and on the far left here we have our good buddy Voyager Dark of the Moon Shockwave. So which one do I like the best in alt mode? Easily the Voyager Dark of the Moon one, I think, is the best looking alt mode. And of course by far the weakest is Energon Shock Blast, as it were. He's something. I guess he's supposed to be kind of like a tank. I'm not sure. Very strange looking alt mode. I don't love it. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it, really, except I think it's kind of just a poorly done alt mode. It doesn't look all that great. It's not all that stable. It's just kind of crappy. Very poorly done alt mode. One of the worst alt modes, actually, that I've seen. He also has a satellite mode, and it's not much better. I don't really think I'm going to bother showing that off. This guy's main attraction is, of course, the robot mode. So that's pretty much going to wrap up what I think of Energon Shock Blast in his alt mode. Moving on to the one I like second best out of the three, we have Beast Hunter's Shockwave here. Now, these little plastic pieces, I don't know why they included them. I guess they were trying to make him look monstrous since he's part of the Beast Hunters line. I don't like them, but they easily remove. And what you're left with is a fairly futuristic Cybertronian looking tank. It's kind of cool, actually. It reminds me a little bit of a siege tank from StarCraft. Not really a lot, but I can see a few design cues from there. I mean, it's certainly not a huge influence, but I can see somewhat of that. Anyway, his gimmick works like a champ in this mode, and that, of course, is his spinning cannon. You press that, and his weapon spins. That's actually not a bad gimmick, and it's fairly well done. I actually dig that. So, you know, but like I said, overall, pretty good looking alt mode. I do like it. It's nice. It's unique, and it's you know, I think it's attractive. It's a good looking alt mode. So, moving on here, we've got our good buddy here, Dark of the Moon Shockwave, and I think out of all the alt modes, actually, this is the best one. I really love the way this looks. It's I don't know, maybe it's some sort of a... It just looks like a subterranean tank thing. It's pretty cool. I just like the way it looks. And you can press on his weapon here, and he'll actually deploy 2 additional guns. You kind of got to go, oh, I popped out his tube there. That's one thing about this guy. It's really easy to pop him apart, unfortunately. I mean, it looks great, but you can kind of pop apart. Anyway, it doesn't stay like that unless you hold it. Yeah, but anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap up the alt mode portion of this review for these 3 Shockwaves. I will be back to conclude with robot mode. Okay guys, here I have the 3 Shockwaves transformed into robot mode. And I know I picked on Energon Shockwave a lot in the vehicle mode, alt mode portion of this vehicle, whatever you want to call it. You know, I said it was terrible looking, all that. But actually in robot mode, Energon Shockwave isn't bad. He's actually pretty nice looking overall. You gotta keep in mind, this is a toy from several years ago. Probably close to 10 years now. I'm not sure exactly how long ago Energon was, but I know it's not super recent. He's actually not a bad guy. I mean, in robot mode, he's pretty good, actually. He's very G1-esque in a lot of ways as far as his looks go, so robot mode, huge improvement over his alt mode, huge. He is still my least favorite of the 3, but he's, you know, pretty good. I'll go ahead and just give you a quick 360 of him. And now I'll show off his articulation for him, and his articulation is about average. He's got some foot articulation here. Bends at the knee, rotates at the knee, top of the leg, forward, back. Doesn't really go in, goes out. He's got some waist rotation action going on here. This arm is all kind of just one big piece, so obviously can rotate at the shoulder and can, you know, go in and out. His head can go basically all directions. His hand here, it's just kind of 2 fingers, so, but his bottom finger does swing out, which is pretty cool. He has this gun here, and it just kind of folds down, and he's got that gun deployed. And overall, oh, and he of course has a gimmick, a firing missile. Just bear with me, guys. I got to readjust. Oh, there we go. No, that's not too bad. You just push this bad boy forward, and come on. This missile will fire out, and that's what it looks like with that thing opened all the way. And that actually looks like a fairly impressive weapon. Overall, this guy in robot mode is pretty good. You know, you can. He's pretty posable. You can get into some pretty neat poses. His weapon looks pretty neat, fully deployed like that, and I do dig him. I do actually like. His head sculpt is real good. You know, I do like him. Is he a must-have figure? No, he's not. He's nice to have. If you can find him on the secondary market for a reasonable price, I'd say he's worth picking up. Not a must-have, but, you know, not bad. You know, better than you know, what his alt mode certainly would have you believe. Anyway, let's put him off to the side here. And here is my second favorite robot, because my favorite, of course, is in robot mode is the Transformers Prime one. Just, you know, in alt mode, this guy is my favorite, but in alt mode, this guy is my favorite, but in robot mode, that guy is. So let's go ahead and we'll get into Dark of the Moon Shockwave, and zoom in on him here a little bit. There we go. And he's a nice looking sculpt. Very nice. You know, I definitely dig him. He looks good. He's got a pretty average amount of articulation. His foot can move, bends at the knee. Doesn't rotate at the knee, but he rotates at the top of the leg, forward, back, in a little bit, out at the leg. Doesn't have any waist rotation. His head rotates. on his arms. Either one of his hands can, you know, fold in or out. Of course, he bends at the elbow, kind of rotates there at the top of the shoulder, and of course, in and out with the arms. Now, mine does have a bit of an issue. If I twist this arm a bunch, this arm will actually pop off. It's a little loose, I guess. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm sure I could probably fix it with a little bit of glue. No big deal, just something I thought I'd mention. You know, and as far as his hose goes, you can attach it in a few different spots. You can attach it there at the back of his arm, and if you see, the arm just popped off, and that happens kind of a lot with this guy. I mean, I can snap his arm right back on. It's not the end of the world or anything, but it is kind of irritating, a little irritating, and you can get him in some good poses too, just like you know, pretty much any Transformer made, you know, since the turn of the millennium here. So we'll just go ahead and kind of put him, although his arm makes him a little forward heavy, so he kind of likes to lean forward a little bit. Now, to get to the main reason we're here, and that of course is the recently released Beast Hunters Shockwave. And for some reason, you know, like I said in an alt mode, these plastic pieces, these extra ones, I have no idea why they included these. They were never shown in the cartoon, and they just do not look good. I have no idea why these things exist at all. Whatever. Anyway, you know, this guy is really nice looking. I'll go ahead and zoom in on him just a little bit for you. And he is just really nice. You know, great looking mold. Great representation of Shockwave from the Transformers Prime cartoon. Really like it. Anyway, he's got a, you know, pretty decent amount of articulation too. He bends at the knee, rotates at the knee, forward, back, and just a tiny bit, and out. Got nice ratchet joints. Doesn't have any waist rotation. Rotates there at the shoulder. Of course, he bends at the elbow, in and out at the shoulder. Rotates at the elbow, and can go in. And his head, of course, can rotate. So, and of course, his cool little gimmick here works great. So, I really like this mold. Really awesome looking Shockwave, I think. They did a great job. You know, he's got a bunch of original elements, and he is a great homage to G1 Shockwave. I really like this one. And I would absolutely recommend picking up Beast Hunter Shockwave. Now, I know we're definitely late in the game for Beast Hunter since, you know, the TV show ended a couple weeks ago. And we're definitely at the tail end of this thing. You may or may not have a hard time finding this guy in retail. I'm not sure. I've seen him pop up a few different places. But, of course, you know, I'm just in one part of the country. I don't know what he's going for in the secondary market. But if you can get him for a reasonable price, and what I'd say a reasonable price would be under $40, absolutely pick him up. No doubt about it. If you have to pay more than that, you might want to look into maybe getting a Quake Wave or something, you know, the third-party Masterpiece G1 Shockwave. But for a reasonable price, absolutely pick them up. Pick any of these guys up for a reasonable price. Anyway, that's pretty much going to wrap this whole thing up. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll see you next time.